And I'm back. So, if you've seen my last couple of videos, you know that I got the Ace 1 Arms Glock 19 SAI Tier 1 RMR slide kit, and I also just got this WE Glock 23 to be my host gun. So, I was able to install everything. No big problems. The only thing was that, like I mentioned during the unboxing of the slide kit, was the nozzle spring. It was a little bit tricky to get in there. I tried the tape method that I've seen online to put a piece of tape over it. Didn't work really well. So what I ended up doing was that I installed the the blowback unit pretty much all the way in. Keeping in mind here that the extractor has to be in place. Then I simply just pulled out the blowback unit just enough to be able to sort of force feed the nozzle spring back into the blowback unit. So I was able to get that installed, and the rest was a drop-in fit, no problems. One thing that I'm a little bit disappointed in is that the included hex head screws for the RMR sight that I mentioned in the unboxing video, one of them was defect, so it wasn't able to be installed. The threads just wouldn't go in, it just went in sideways and whatever. So I tried trimming it down with a Dremel disc to get rid of the bad threads at the end. What ended up happening is that the Dremel deformed the metal in the screw, so now it's not round anymore. I'm not sure if you can tell. Yeah, you probably can. So that's no good. So I'm gonna have to find replacements for these. I'm also disappointed in the fact that I contacted Ace 1 Arms about this particular screw, and they asked me to send pictures of the problem. Not the easiest thing to do, you know, it wasn't obvious, so I actually made a video for them where I just tried to install the hex screw and show them that it didn't work. And after I sent that video, that's 3 days ago, and I still haven't gotten a response back, so that's not very encouraging. You know, a good company makes both good products and has good customer support. Not, you know, why would they even ask me for a picture? Just send me a new set of screws. You know, it's like $1 tops. So that's a little bit disappointing. I'm hoping they will get back to me. If not, I give the product itself 2 thumbs up because it's very nice. It was a drop-in fit, but their customer service gets 2 thumbs down. So I got the Garter magazine installed as well, and what I did, I simply just switched out the gas rod rubber from the WE magazine into the Garter magazine. I was thinking about switching the main valve as well, but I took them both out and looked at them, and the Garter valve looked equal or better, so I'm leaving that in for now. Other than that, it looks compatible. So you can see that's the first time I racked it, so it's got a pretty smooth action right off the bat. Okay, that's not good. The slide catch is biting into the slide, so I can't use the slide lock release when it's locked back. You know, that's not a big deal for me because I always do the what's it called, the power stroke method, but that means that the cutout here, yeah, I think that's supposed to be slanted backwards. Let's take it off and take a look. So as you can see, we already have marks in the slide from the slide lock. I'm not going to be bothered with that since I'm not using it. This is what it looks like inside. I decided to install, or I'm sorry, to not install the full auto feature. So in effect, I've converted the Glock 23 into a Glock 19, which is what I wanted. I'm still going to get a Gen 3 lower for this. Again, you can see the flat hop-up gas wrap rubber. Like I said in the unboxing video, I was a little bit confused about the recoil guide rod here. As you can see at the front, the buffer is sitting kind of halfway into the hole, but like I expected, it seats properly once installed. The inner barrel and hop-up assembly was also a very nice drop-in fit. It was snug, but a good fit in the outer barrel, so that's nice. The extractor, I'm probably going to take that out and make that silver gray, that little piece. I didn't have any batteries for the RMR, so I'm not able to power that on. But yeah, that's a bit of an issue right there. If you can tell already, you can see it's being a little bit deformed right there. Yeah, I mean, I physically can't do that with my thumb. Now again, some people actually say that the Glock slide release is actually just a slide lock, so that's why it's so small. So I don't think the intent of the design of this is not to be used as a slide release. So again, no big deal. Nice. So you can also see that it has a pretty tight fit to the frame. I'm not a big fan of this because on the real Glocks, yeah, I actually do. There's a little bit of a gap. I think the SAI slide might be a better tolerance, but on the real Glocks, the stock slides, there's a pretty significant gap here. So what I might end up doing is sanding down the frame a little bit right here to get a little bit more of a realistic gap on there. What else? Let's take a look at wiggle room back here. Side to side, not much. Up and down, there's a little bit, but side to side barely moves. I'm a little bit, that's one thing that with the W Glocks is that you can see here, once you pull the trigger on a Glock, it's supposed to stay back. But look here, if I push the slide forward a little bit, it releases the hammer. So that's slightly disappointing. I'm also not getting a consistent trigger reset, but that might be because I'm using a 23 lower with just the semi-auto installation in the slide. So, like I said, I'm not sure if the internals has anything related to the full auto function. It might. That's another thing I noticed on the W or HK Glock that I got, that it actually had a black inner barrel. So when you look at it like that, it barely shows. You know, a brass barrel might have been better considering the gold outer barrel, but that's fine. And of course, the magazine gap. Most people probably don't care about that, but it just adds that little bit of extra detail that I like. So I actually have to get going, but before I do, let's try to fire it, see how it does. So what I've noticed, what I did right there was I just filled up the magazine a little bit and then dumped out the gas, and that's to cool down the magazine a little bit so that it takes a full charge of gas. So I'm going to install the dry firing plug included with the Garda magazine. Unfortunately, these are pretty expensive. I paid $36 for this, but if it works, I think it will be worth it actually. Wow, it kicks hard. Really nice and crisp. Not sure how much we're up to, but that's probably a good 20 rounds right there. I mean, you can see, I'm hoping you can see that it kicks pretty good. Let's see here. So that's probably due to the weight of the RMR being here at the back. It's gonna come back and kind of give you a little bit of recoil. Let's see. Okay, it's not locking back anymore, so we're running out of gas. And keep in mind that the slide is also not broken in yet. It's just installed, so it's going to take a couple of 100 racks to smoothen that out. I also just realized that I completely forgot to lubricate the slide rails. But all in all, I would say this is a successful build right here. Pretty badass. So what I'm going to end up doing, like I said, actually, hang on a second, let me go grab the light. So I was thinking like this, then I'm going to stock W black barrel, thread protector on here, and possibly a short suppressor as well. So as you can see, the M3 light kind of fits with the shape of the Glock, in my opinion better than the X300 light. Alright, took a little bit for the magazine to warm back up there. And we're out. So I didn't really count, but I would say that was a good 30 to 40 rounds on a single fill. So all things considered, that's a nice performance. So yeah, that is the HK Glock 19 Gen 4 with the Ace 1 Arms SAI Tier 1 RMR slide kit. Just a quick update for you. Looks nice, doesn't it? One thing is that the RMR is sticking out a little bit on the side, so I think that's a little bit distracting aesthetically, but you know, not much you can do. That's the way it's designed. So yeah, I'm also really happy that this magazine worked properly. I'm gonna try switching back the original gas wrap rubber and see if I get the same kind of performance. If I do that, then you know, there's no point in changing out the gas wrap rubbers. Okay, that's it for now. I gotta get going. See you guys later. Bye bye.